messed up yet. Yeah. Hi, welcome to a new video. My name is John Limcool, also known as John Skippy Limcool. Hands together, head bowed, welcome. Hey, this is Unify 1.8. And this is one of the bonus patches that comes with the library. Shouldn't call them bonuses because they all just, they automatically are included with the library. But there's 625 patches inside of the factory voicing that I have done, or that Airwave is assisted with. A couple other people have made patches in here as well. Lot to play with, lots and lots of stuff to play with. So I really want to quickly just show you some of the cool new things in this update. This is supposed to be just a little tiny maintenance update, but we had some conversations with a couple of our developers that are working on libraries you'll be seeing in the coming months. And they had some suggestions that Shane went, yeah, we should do that. So we did it. We added quite a bit to this for a maintenance update. It's a free update. Everybody should update because it's just so much better. We really locked down some things that have been little gremlins that we've been chasing for a long time. Guru Sampler is much more stable when it comes to mono legato for basses and stuff like that. It's wonderful. There's so many places. In fact, here's the list of all the things added in this incremental update to 1.7 to 1.8. There's the color zones. So the keys are colored, and you can actually go in and choose right here different maps. If you have a split keyboard, you can have a split. If you have a drum kit, you can make things that show you a drum kit. This is the generic map for the drum kits, and you can see it says kicks and snares. When you hover over, text can be shown for the notes, so you know what's going to. Now, I'm not on a drum kit patch, but I'm showing you a map. You have to call up a drum kit patch, and then it would do that. So if I went up here and I said drum kit, there they are. So I could say Beast drum kit, and boom. Now these are kicks, and these are snares. That's the tambourine, etc. Right? So it works. It's really, really nice to be able to see, give you some help. For example, check this out, latch. There's a patch here, Piano Rain. And a lot of you probably was wondering, where's the split? I mean, it says it in the text if you read it, but we know nobody reads. Well, this now shows you that high C is the rain, and the rest of the keyboard is piano. With convolution, reverb, doing a really cool. It's actually me crinkling a plastic bag. But yeah. So anything you call up that has splits and stuff like that, you can visually see what it's going to be before you play it. So then you know. And you can save the key zone per patch. Really, really, really fun. So that's one thing that we added in this update. Another thing that we added is the embedding of graphics and actually HTML into patches. If you see a little tiny blue light around the image right here. Welcome to Unify. Welcome to Unify. The future is here, my friends. Just click it, and it can load up an image that's in the library's media folder. And you use text to link the patch to the image, but you can make it so that you link images or HTML, both embedded pages that take over the interface or that open up a web browser. Fun stuff. Let's do this. Let me show you the whole list of everything added. We have the key zones, linked media. We have instrument titles automatically track the name of the instrument preset. What that means is that if you go and you load an embedded Unify of this patch by right click and it's bass growl. If I double click and I go in here and I choose a different patch, Dirty FM, this changes to say it's Dirty FM. It also will register the name of this patch in your DAW. So it's really, really handy to have that functionality. Global gain control. This is only for the standalone version of Unify, which is right here. As you can see, the dark red becomes a red with a little movable bar. And you can set it to a global gain. Double click, it goes back to 0 dB. This is because some people have asked for in a live situation to be able to control the volume. In a DAW, you've got a channel strip, so you don't need it. That's why in a DAW, I can tell whether you're in a DAW or standalone if you send me a screenshot now, because this is solid when you're in a DAW because you can't change it. If you're in standalone, it's a bar like this. And not only that, but you can change it to a volume that you like, and you can right click and say save as default. And that way it will always stay at that volume when you call Unify back up in the future. So you can set it globally and forget it if you need to do that. Okay, so let's quit the standalone version of Unify. Back to our text of the things, random patch button. This is really, really fun. So let's do this. Let's go to categories. By the way, we're going to get more into this in a minute, but I have an absolute boatload of libraries loaded into Unify. I have actually over 48,000 patches available right now in Unify, and these are all libraries you need to. There's a lot of stuff you'd have to buy to get to all these patches, but they all are there. I'm going to choose a bass. I'm going to go to categories, and I'm going to say bass. And because I'm in the Unify standard library, that limited it to 64. And I hit the fuzzy dice, and it will randomly select a different bass from the list. So it's like, pick a bass for me, Unify. There's a 1 in 64 chance that it's going to pick bass. What's crazy is if you change the load mode to like load it with an embedded Unify layer, which means clicking any other patch, it loads it into your existing patch. Now click the dice, and you're building a composite bass patch randomly. And if you start layering patches, you want to hold down Option and turn this down. Sometimes it doesn't work, so hold down Option, or you can click this bullet and say delete from layer, but Option or Alt and click this bullet will delete it. Try again. And what's nuts is if you open this up to all of the patches, all of the libraries, I now have access to, oh, it changed the category. No, we don't want this. So we hit clear, go down here to bass. There's many more categories now that's looking at 48,225 patches. Say bass. Now it's choosing between 4,802 patches. I can click this and it's going to load a bass. Who knows where it's from? You can even say normal and click this and it'll just randomly select a bass from any of the plugins. Each time I click, it's going to randomly choose and then have to load it. So it's taking a second for some of the plugs to load because it's loading a new plugin. I have no idea which of these libraries. There's 50 different plugins it could be choosing from. Kind of curious what it's going to pick. Evil Razor. Okay. And then I could go down here and say embedded. And I can click this again. And it's going to choose from 4,800 basses. This bass was from, if we double click, from Hive 2. The other bass is from Waldorf Largo. So any plugin you have the libraries in for Unify, you can now play with to randomize and choose patches from everything you own. So we have random, and it's kind of fun. So it randomly chooses from however many patches are in this window. So if you minimize it down to a specific library, like if we go to Basebox, which is a library I did for Trillion, and I go down here and I say, I need to clear the tags. And let's just say, oh, here we go. Bass lead gave me 88 different basses. So I could say load normal, boom. And it's going to load from Trillion a bass. Bass box, bass, using Trillion, but in Atmosphere. So if I set this to Unify layer, turn this down a little bit and click this button again, it loaded a huge drone. And I could say load again. And it made this really, really cool 3-patch bass randomly, right? So what's really, really fun is if you go to something like Zebra 2. So if we type in BPM synth, that gives us 109 patches to choose from. So we could say normal, random. It's going to randomly choose the first bass. Unify embedded layer, change this, and now click again. Random. Now let's go to another library. For Prophecy. Let's just add it. Hit random, and here we are on Cherry Audio's 2600, and it's going to randomly choose a patch. So I've got 5 patches. Randomly choose from one of these 3. And if you want, just go up here and say all libraries, and now there's 2,326. Let's go normal, random to choose the first patch. And that's from Hive 2.1. And then let's go to Unify layers and just click random. And it's going to choose from these 2,300 patches. Dune 3, incredible synth. Very nice choice, Unify. And let's click again. Hive 2 again. Hive 2 again. Wow. And then click again. Whoa! I mean, we all have these thousands and thousands of patches from all of these plugins. This gives you cool ways of maybe accidentally using some of them you might not know you even had. Like, that's cool. And then at this point, you can go, okay, I'm done with the fuzzy dice. I could go over here to 808 day, and I'm still embedded, but I want to go to the drums because I'm going to load a drum groove. And I could say BPM drum, and that's cool. And go to Cloud City and BPM perk. And there's all of these BPM perk. I'm going to say Unified drum. Click the dice, let it choose something. choose another something. You know, I mean, the possibility, and hold down Option because it's getting really loud. So. And because every layer is on its own thread of your computer, you have access to all these thousands of patches and plugins and all this stuff that you own can all be used. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So yeah, Fuzzy Dice for the win. Fuzzy Dice is really, really, really fun to play with, right? So there you go. Let's see what else is here. Guru Sampler, we did some changes. There's a gentleman that has some sample editing tools you can find more information about in our forums, or go to sample mapping stuff. It's on this page right here. He has made things with Unify formats so that it will work for Unify. And so you can download for Windows or Mac and build sample maps now that you put into Unify. Really, really, really cool. Pump House, we added a little smooth button because sometimes it's so sample accurate that it has a little bit of a click. So you can get rid of that now. MIDI Box, we added some controls so you can do the plus and minus buttons inside a MIDI box are now available to be assigned to knobs or to controllers. So that's pretty nice to have, right? For some of you that are doing things in that nature. We have under MIDI filter the ability to filter out all note events. So it's just going to then be able to get rid of notes if you want to let CC pass through. We've updated some plugins, such things as now when you click here and go to assign, all the MIDI CCs are there, but so is Aftertouch. So you can now assign Aftertouch that can be sent when you're moving one of these macro knobs to the plugins, or respond now by Aftertouch. So I push Aftertouch, it will move that knob. Really, really handy, okay? Ops menu for ESD3 plugins, show MIDI keyboard size and number of CC sliders. You can now change the keyboard also to be, let's see, go over here, up to 128 notes. So if you want to see the entire 128 note MIDI range, that is available as a view option here. So yeah, lots of fun stuff to play with. It's a great update. It's fun stuff. The Fuzzy Dice definitely gets the win. Now I'm going to show you one more thing that's really, really cool. I just want to hit this home a little bit in closing. This is the web page for Unify, right? At the website, pluginguru.com. You can click Unify to get here. If you scroll down this page, you will get to where we have our unified libraries. And this is really thrilling. We're at over 54 plugins have been unified, including Serum, all of Uhi's incredible synthesizers, Dune 3 and 3.5, since it's added more patches with 3.5. Many of the Spitfire libraries, the originals that are $29, have been unified and are beautiful and just incredible to have. Rob Pepin's instruments, we're unifying some of them. Cherry Audio. We're adding Kilohertz, Phase Plant, and we're adding GeForce Mini Monster 3 today. When you're seeing this video, they've been added. That list will be updated. It's not updated right now, but after this video, it will be updated. So if you own Phase Plant, which is on sale for like $99 right now, hurry, because that sale doesn't last much longer. You can get the factory patches. In fact, here they are. Right here, Phase Plant. Here are all 561 factory patches. Go key. Oh, I should go over here and say normal, so we just play and hear it, just. So Phase Plant is in the house. Thrilled to have them here. It's a great synth. So let me show you, with all of these unified libraries, with all the Plugin Guru libraries that I've created that are available for Omnisphere and Razor and Massive and so many different plugins and stuff. There's all sorts of stuff. I'm going to kind of flex muscle for a second just to show you what we can do with Unify, because this is, if what I just previously showed you with random wasn't enough, check this out. Let's say all libraries. This is really, really fun. I'm going to type in, out of 48,000, there's only a small handful that are named Concerto. And let's change the keyboard to be 61 keys. So check this out. This is super, super fun. I spent a little time handpicking some patches to show you something. So okay, this is the factory patch from Unify. You don't need anything else to play this. Okay, now I'm going to load up a patch from a plugin you need to buy, but once you've owned it, there's a library for it that we made called the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover Station. And so I'm going to go to the libraries. I'm going to go to Discover Station. I could use Chord Station, but I wanted to show you this with the Discover Station library. We're going to go over here to the BPM strings, and I'm going to set this to Unify Layer and choose Dual Polarity Adventure. And just like that, I'm going to be adding a whole string orchestra to enhance what I had originally. So now, and the BBC Symphony Orchestra is $50. Or more expensive if you get the Core or the Pro version. But for $50, and then the Discover Station library, it's a little bit late because they have a little bit of error at the beginning of the samples. So I'm going to go over here to MIDI box, and I can take the MIDI playback and I can shift it to be early by, let's say, about 50 milliseconds, 59 milliseconds. And now it plays a great time. And now I want to go to a drum groove from Cloud City. So I'm going to change this to be Unified Drum because I want to load as a new Unify layer. And I'm looking at drums. I'm going to go down here to the hip skip to New York Love. On the master effects, we have added reverb for the orchestral global vibe. It's convolution reverb from convolution built into Unify from this really cool plugin called Clang Falter. I'm just going to turn it down. Right? Now I'm going to go to a totally different library, one of the unified libraries from Uhi. This is for Bazil. I love Bazil. Really, really cool synthesizer. And there's this patch called JR Chill In right there. And I can keep this on Unified Drum. It's fine. It will still load as an embedded Unify layer. Right? And I'm going to, there's a number of ways to do this. If I click this, I'm changing the key range down to B3. And if I want, I could right click and just play a note. That way I have that synth sound in this part of the keyboard, but up high. And I don't want the drums either. So I could go to the BPM drums, right click on the high note, tell it to stop at B3 too. So power of Unify. You have access to 48,000 patches if you own all of these plugins and all these patches. Whatever you own, you can layer it. And you can use the fuzzy dice to help you do random fun stuff, or you can just go to the libraries. I mean, it's really, really, really been fun to put this together. And it really feels like we're at like an exclamation point in the accomplishments of this. Okay, so enjoy Unify. If you don't have it, it's always on sale for $79. It's very, very rare, like maybe once a year that it goes on sale. And even then it's only like $10 off because it's worth well more than its asking price. enjoy the update. Lots more support videos and stuff coming. We love to support amazing libraries in the works. Oh my gosh, you guys are not going to believe what's coming. So the adventure continues. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.